हाँ, now it's on. चलो चलो चलो, I'll catch up. नीम राना, राइट?
से पूरी उसमें है हार्ली डेविडसन की।
भाई साहब बीड़ी लगा के पूरा वैसे। अच्छा, वी आर हेडेड टू नीम राना, राइट? ठीक है।
नीमराना टोल से यू टर्न कर रहा है कुणाल।
अच्छा, चाय पानी मिलेगी कहीं पे?
पता नहीं भाई, पानी पिला दूंगा, पानी पड़ा था आज।
पिला दियो यार, बड़ा डिहाइड्रेटेड फील कर रहा हूँ। चल चल। Okay, traction is off. Let's get going. Good morning guys, my name is Abhinav and I am riding my KTM 390 Adventure. In front of me is my friend Kunal Oberoi. He is riding his Ninja 1000 which is actually running quite a mean setup. It just got a Rapid Bike Evo tuner. It has MIV Suono exhausts and I think it also is running headers. So a full system, essentially a tuned full system. Along with me on this ride is Amit Samor, who is riding a Suzuki GSX S1000. Gauravanand, who is riding an old shape Harley Fat Boy. And then I have Srinivas Ganesh, who sold his new shape Fat Boy for an Interceptor. That's quite interesting. And Ankur Gupta, who is riding a Vulcan 650. Now we are headed towards Neem Rana from Delhi. Actually the meeting point was here, the Manesar toll, and we have about I think less than 100 kilometers to go one side. Now I'm giving you these details because I'm on a highway run after a long time. My motorcycle, this KTM 390 Adventure, is not very much suited for the highway anymore. Now why do I say that? Well, that's because I am running a very aggressive gearing setup on it. At the front, I went with a 14 tooth sprocket, as some of you guys who have seen my previous videos would know. I got it from the Dominar, not the Dominar, but the Duke 250. It cost only about 195 rupees and I was very happy with it. Very happy with the gearing, the shorter gearing. However, before I got that Duke 250 sprocket at the front, I had already placed an order with Race Customs. Now they are based in Chennai and they do specialized sprockets. They had made a sprocket for me for this motorcycle, but it's a rear sprocket, 2 teeth bigger than the stock sprocket. If the stock is 45, that is 47. So essentially it does the same thing that the what do you call it, the front would. You either go 1 down at the front or you go 2 up or 3 up at the rear. It sort of works the same. However, since I had already spent money, I got the rear installed on my motorcycle and I'm still running the short 14 tooth sprocket at the front. I'm sorry. So my gearing setup is actually quite aggressive compared to most others, because most people would either be running stock or 1 down at the front or 2 up at the rear. I did that because I don't ride this motorcycle on the highway anymore. I only do trail rides with this motorcycle. For the highway, I have a few other motorcycles that I prefer riding. So this morning I was supposed to go to the trail, but then last minute the plans changed. We decided that we will instead do this highway run and we will hit the trail in the evening. So now I want to find out how fast this motorcycle goes on the highway, and is it actually comfortable on the highway with this setup. I have turned my traction control off, but the ABS is still on road mode. That means it's engaged on both the wheels. I had removed the mirrors last night thinking I will go to the trail, and very honestly I'm feeling very uncomfortable without the mirrors, not knowing who's behind me or how far are my friends from me. So in this video we will try to check the top speed of the motorcycle. We will also try and see at what speeds does this motorcycle do 100 at. The RPM range, does this motorcycle do 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, so that you can decide if you want to run such an aggressive setup, if this is also your primary motorcycle for touring. Because I'm sure you wouldn't want your engine to be revving very high when you are out on a 4-hour, 5-hour, 10-hour ride. Till the time I get a good clean stretch of road, I can tell you this, that vibrations have definitely increased because of this short gearing. I don't have the rubber inserts in the foot pegs. I took them off to ride on the trail, and I can feel vibrations through the foot pegs. I can feel vibrations through the handlebars. I can also feel them a bit through the seat. They're not that bad, I would say. They're certainly livable. Like if I'm doing what, 112 right now in 6th, let's go in 5th, let's go up to 6th. It's alright, I can do an entire day of riding like this, no problem. Yeah, so like Ankur just went ahead, and without mirrors I felt extremely uncomfortable with him overtaking me because I had no idea. Let me drop down the speed, get behind it, let's get to 100 and see. Okay, so if you are somebody who rides in the most sensible manner on Indian roads, on the highway, this is the speed that you'd probably be doing, 100. Easy cruising, and with this gearing setup, you will do 100 at 6,000 RPM. Hundred at 10 is about 6.5. This is also easily holdable through the entirety of a day. I don't think 110 is a problem. It doesn't vibrate much. Let's go to 120. But before I do that, I'll have to slow down. It's a very, very, very windy day. Very, very windy day. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm being thrown around by the wind. My helmet's super tight, but even that is moving just ever so slightly because of the way the camera protrudes at the front. Okay, so let's hold 120. Okay, 120, let's hold. Slightly above 7,000 RPM. Doable for most part. I don't think you'll have any problems here. So 130 is 8,000 RPM. I think if I'm cruising and you know, all day long, I don't think I would like to hold the motorcycle at 8,000 RPM, to be very honest. So the cruising speed, a good cruising speed considering the increased rev range, would be 100-125, not more than that. This motorcycle is still adequately fast. Some of you might think that, you know, just because we have shortened the gearing so much, the top speed would have taken a major hit. Well, on a downward slope, fully tucked in, I was still able to get to 162 before I ran into the rev limiter. I'm not sure if I ran into the rev limiter or I ran out of road. That happened some 20 minutes ago, so I'm not too sure. Maybe we'll get a chance to test it again. But yeah, you can get up to 162, which possibly means if you're just sitting straight up and gunning it, you will get to about 150, 155. That's plenty enough for me, man, because this is not a primary touring motorcycle for me. I'm not going to use it on the highway. It's going to be very, very, very rare occasions when I use this motorcycle on the highway. In fact, I am also getting rid of the stock tires of this motorcycle. These are very road oriented tires, and whenever I'm on a very muddy or slushy trail, I end up losing my front end. Now, I wouldn't attribute it to the tire as much as lack of skill. Clearly it's a lack of skill because others manage and I somehow don't. So I'm just going to get slightly knobby tires on it, maybe a set of Timson tires. Goes to about 138 in the fifth. Still accelerating. So you can still cross 150 without crouching in sixth on this motorcycle. And mind you, I am facing a lot of wind blast. So maybe if you get a tailwind instead. What happened? Oh, fuck. Start nahi ho rahi. How did it shut off? It has fuel. We just got fuel this morning. पेट्रोल भी अभी भराया है. धक्का मारूं? तू बैठ, इसको गियर में स्टार्ट करने की कोशिश कर. I'll push it. Just be around the bikes, it has the key. Put it in gear. Hui. Alright guys, time to end this video here. We've run into a bit of a problem. If this bike gets fixed, I will update you. Sometimes this is what happens. So yeah, well, what to do? It's alright. No biggie. We'll figure it out.